Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As Cyrus prepares to kill again, Elizabeth gives Anna evidence against him. On General Hospital Today, Sunny and Carly debate whether Jason is the father of Sasha's child. Joss persuades Trina to go on a date with Kai, and Sasha performs for Willow. Sunny arrives at Carly's house to talk to her. She questions what's going on as she and Donna prepare to make Valentine's Day cookies. Sunny informs her that he and Ava agreed to divide custody 50-50 after resolving their custody battle. That's fantastic, Carly replies, but what's actually happening? After Sunny clarifies the tension between him and Avery's mother, Christina is relieved of the burden of testifying. Since he has been placed on sole custody for several months, Carly thinks something has changed. Ava misses her mother, and Sunny explains that the fire altered the likelihood of winning the lawsuit, according to Diane. Carly still doesn't think he did it for that reason. Sunny argues for his Jake perspective. Sunny claims that he needs to identify the person who planted the bomb in his penthouse. Without knowing who did it, he cannot defend the family. In addition, he wants to be present for Michael upon his return home. Carly still doesn't believe he would give in to Ava. As Avery gets older, she would want to know her mother, so Sunny did it for her. Is Jason the father? Carly turns the conversation to Jason, her altercation with Drew, and his accusation that Jason is the biological father of Sasha's child. Sasha says it's nobody's business, and she hasn't been able to discuss it with Jason yet. If Jason is assisting Sasha in the same way that he assisted her throughout her pregnancy with Michael, she believes she should give him a call. Sunny advises that they hold off until Jason gives them a call. Carly must be aware of Jake. He asks why Carly has to know because she can't wait. She clarifies that she wants to know so that should it be real, she can stand by him. If not, she can support him. Given that Jason has enemies and that Sasha has already lost Liam and Brando, Sunny speculates that she might not want anybody to know. He thinks they ought to avoid getting involved. Carly consents to hold off till Jason approaches her. The campus big man. Joss looks over the address Brennan's associate gave her at her apartment and uses the map app on her phone to find it. Trina thought it would be wonderful to cook together for once and brought a bag of groceries. Joss claims that they always order takeout and never cook. Kai texts Trina while she's unpacking to inquire if she's free tonight. Joss and Trina talk about GH. What is actually happening with this cooking stuff, Joss asks. Joss imagined they would spend Valentine's Day together because, as Trina acknowledges, it's her first Valentine's Day without Dex and she still misses Spencer. Joss declines, stating that she knows Trina adores Kai, and that it's time for her to return to society. Trina and Joss talk about GH. When Trina texts Kai back, he makes reservations at the best club in town and extends an invitation to her. He advises her to dress to impress and meet him at the Savoy after she accepts. Joss says she needs some alone time to study, but she detests leaving her alone. Joss questions whether Kai is aware that her father owns the Savoy. Trina is unsure. Later, Joss takes out the box containing Dex's gun as Trina departs for her date. Drew presents Laura with his argument. Laura asks Curtis to stop by her office so they can talk. He wants to rush by her esplanade, but Laura informs him Drew has a plan. Despite his outbursts against Drew, he believes she invited him to observe the meeting for a reason. She's looking for his input. She informs him that Drew intends to use eminent domain to take Sunny's piers and relocate the project there. She believes that Drew is retaliating against Jason through Sunny on this esplanade. Curtis notes that Diane will file a lawsuit, and the city will have to pay exorbitant legal fees, and that the move will increase transportation expenses. Laura is cautioned by Curtis that Drew has changed and is now self-centered. Laura concurs, but she is doubting Drew's wisdom because he wants to enlist Jen Sidwell, the man who nearly killed her son, as a partner. Laura and Curtis discuss G. Curtis is taken aback and inquires as to whether Laura has discussed this with Jordan. Laura has stated that she will attend the meeting. Curtis informs her that he recently seen Jordan with Jens, and it appears that she is interested in what he has to offer. Jordan shows up to meet GH. Curtis' worries are allayed when Jordan shows up and tells Laura about her encounter with Jens. She believes she can learn more about Jens and his companies by looking into him, But Curtis believes it's a bad idea because she's no longer a police officer. Crowd is tough for Drew. When Drew shows in, he says, "I can tell this is going to be a tough room." Drew argues that moving the Esplanade will benefit the city financially and dismantle Sonny's criminal organization. He advises them to consider Port Charles's best interests. Do they move the Esplanade and remove crime? Or do they let Sonny carry on with his company and let it die? Jordan notes that Sonny's coffee shop is legal, and moving the Esplanade will cost the city money and cause job losses. Additionally, she claims that Sonny would sue them, increasing the city's expenses. Drew asks whether they would reconsider proceeding if he hadn't made the suggestion. He walks away after saying it's something to consider. Drew's suggestion makes Laura, Curtis, and Jordan wonder if the trouble this endeavor would cause is worth it. Willow receives more unfavorable information. Felicia thanks Willow in the hospital for taking care of one of the more problematic patients, who also happened to be Willow's lover. Martin shows up as they are talking and appears worried. Willow is anxious. Martin pulls Willow aside and tells her that he still needs dirt on Michael, even if his PI has been removed from the game because of an accident. Willow tells him that it won't be simple to locate and that she doesn't dislike Michael, therefore she doesn't want to use dirt against him. Furthermore, she doesn't believe Michael intends to harm her. She thinks that she and Michael can agree on their children. Martin informs her that divorce does not operate that way. They are cut short when Willow receives a call and discovers, to her surprise, that her car has been seized, presenting evidence against Cyrus. Mac visits Anna's office and inquires as to why Jason is in the interrogation room given that he never touched Cyrus, and that Cyrus was the one who touched Jason's minor son. She is aware that this case is tenuous, he argues. Since Jason is unable to murder Cyrus while he is stranded here, Anna acknowledges that she is harboring him. Anna believes they cannot ignore their dilemma and allow Jason to kill Cyrus, even if Mac acknowledges that doing so would keep many others safe. She believes they are getting closer to proving Cyrus is their killer, and wants to see him held accountable. Mac talks to Anna. Liz slips into Jason's interrogation chamber. She informs him that she and Lucky think they have the proof the police require to apprehend Cyrus. He should concentrate on Danny, who is still suffering over his mother, she says, adding that she will give Anna everything she has. She also worries that until someone intervenes, Cyrus will continue to kill. Jason concurs, but he doesn't believe the PCPD is capable. Jason pays Liz a visit. When Sasha shows up, Mac apologizes to her for what Cody did by publicly creating a fuss about her pregnancy. Although she acknowledges that Drew blabbed about it first, Sasha thanks him. Sasha responds that she is here to visit Jason when Mac asks why she is here. Jason and Sasha requests another help from Jason. Jason lets Sasha in and tells her that Anna is only keeping him from killing Cyrus. Sasha fears Willow believes Michael is the father of her child, but she hates to be the one to deliver further bad news. It will be easy to deduce that Elaine became pregnant around the time when Michael's marriage collapsed after she confided in him about her due date. It's not enough, she says, to let people guess who the baby's father is. So you want me to come out and say it's mine, he asks. She does, and he consents to assist her. Jason in prison. Liz visits Anna in her office to discuss the Cyrus probe. She informs her that after investigating the matter with Lucky, they think Cyrus killed 3 individuals between GH and Turning Woods. She is certain that they have sufficient proof to imprison Cyrus. She reveals that she learned that 2 patients Cyrus saw at Turning Woods, one in a coma and the other with late-stage cancer, died from unplanned heart attacks. She believes that in order to determine whether Digitalis was involved, Anna could exhume their remains. Anna inquires as to whether she has any proof that Cyrus was involved. Liz has something more, but she doesn't. Liz has proof. Liz claims that when she and Lucky searched through Cyrus' trash, they discovered 2 boxes and a Paul Damascus order for a package of syringes. It's a biblical allusion, according to Liz. Since the hospital blocked access to the other box after Sam, she assumes it was Digitalis. She hoped Anna could use the package to find out what was inside and who had placed the order. Liz argues they need to take action before Cyrus kills again, but Anna explains that the chain of evidence has been disrupted. Liz is asked to wait while Anna looks for a means to arrest Cyrus. When Willow gets to the police, she tells Mac about her car being seized, which she believes Tracy did. She tells that it was recently taken to the street and towed after being parked in the Quartermain garage. Although she now drives a minivan for the children, she still treasures her hybrid vehicle. She promises she won't lose anything more as she begins to recognize how much she lost when she joined Michael's family. Karjich was impounded by Willow. While Mac continues to assist Willow with her impound dilemma, Anna makes her way down to the station. They could have a lead on evidence that connects Cyrus to the crimes, she informs Mac. Sasha sees Willow in the squad room just before she leaves Jason in the interrogation room. With the door open, Sasha gives him a passionate kiss and urges him to follow her instructions. Both Willow and Mac notice it, and Mac is incensed. Sasha kisses G. Felicia says she's gone for the day, but Drew shows up at the hospital with roses for Willow. Cyrus concedes to kill. Cyrus speaks verses from the Bible denouncing the vices in people's hearts when he is at Austin's cabin. He then proceeds to the table and injects digitalis into a syringe while reciting passages about God's will being carried out. Cyrus digitalis. Later, professing to want to thank Liz for taking good care of his mother, Cyrus calls the hospital to check if she is there. He finds out she's gone for the day. After placing the syringe in his coat pocket, Cyrus leaves. "There is room for two in here," shouts Chase as he takes a shower on the following General Hospital. Curtis is asked by Portia at the Savoy if his wife receives a clue. Kai is informed by Trina that she must make a confession. Brad is asked if he wants company by Lucas. Lulu informs Dante that she is not doing well as a mother at the Quatermains. Carly tells Brennan in her kitchen that she enjoys knowing something about him that no one else does. Jason is asked to take a chance on Anna. Charlie Besso joins Jake as the love interest of Tobias, and Aiden makes his debut. According to General Hospital teasers, Aiden Weber's love interest is set to make his debut as Charlie Besso has joined the cast as Tobias. Let's talk about Besso's much-anticipated character before his debut on Tuesday, February 18th. Aiden came out to Elizabeth Baldwin in December 2023 by confessing his feelings for Tobias, a kid from his science class. Fans have been speculating about Tobias's potential on-screen appearance ever since. Fortunately, Charlie Besso's selection for the part means that it's finally happening. Besso is a relatively new soap opera star, although you may recognize him from Will Trent, The Night Agent, Fallout, and The Calling. Princeton's in the Mix is a short film that the new GH star also finished. In that production, Charlie Besso portrays Teddy, but we should discuss his debut performance as Tobias in greater detail. Aiden will be able to present Tobias to his parents at the ideal moment, as it is still Valentine's Day in Port Charles. Elizabeth and Lucky Spencer will undoubtedly be very supportive of Aiden's romance, because they will be present to meet Tobias. Liz and Lucky could think about how proud they are when Aiden eventually leaves with Tobias to enjoy their date night. That Aiden has enough faith in his parents to take the risk of introducing his partner is fantastic. Tobias and Aiden appear to be getting along well, which is fantastic because Aiden will soon need someone to rely on. Tobias could have to help Aiden get through a serious family catastrophe that is about to happen. Our forecasts indicate that Lucky will become entangled in the danger when Cyrus Renaud targets Liz in her own house. When Aiden receives updates in the aftermath, you can bet he will be appalled. Don't miss any of the next drama because according to General Hospital spoilers, Aiden might try to console Tobias. Cyrus prepares his next digitalis attack while Sasha and Jason share a kiss. You missed a lot today if you didn't watch General Hospital, including Cyrus preparing to attack once more. Now let's move on to today's recap. When Sonny Corinthos visits Carly Spencer, he informs her that he and Ava Jerome have reached a custody agreement and that they now share custody of Avery 50-50. Although Carly thinks that's fantastic, she wants to know the truth. He claims that he simply does not want his children to be witnesses. Avery misses her mother, and he was aware that he would never be granted sole custody. Carly doesn't think Sonny is telling her everything, even if she agrees with everything he says. He reminds her that he must prioritize safeguarding the family over trivial matters. They begin to talk about Jason Morgan and wonder if he is the father of Sasha Corbin's child. Sonny explains that it's none of Carly's business and asks why she should know. They should back off and respect Jason's privacy if he is the father, since he may already be guarding it and Sasha. Joss has a plan and Trina sets up a date. When Trina Robinson returns home with a bag of groceries, Jocelyn Jax is sitting on the couch. When Kai Taylor texts to inquire about her plans for the evening, she is prepared to prepare a spaghetti meal. Joss persuades Trina to meet Kai at the Savoy in an hour, even though Trina is prepared to decline so she can spend Valentine's Day with Joss. Joss returns to the living room after Trina leaves, wearing all black and holding Dex Heller's gun box. Joss informed Trina that she would be ordering meals and staying home, but that was not the plan. February 17th General Hospital recap. Cyrus arranges his next Digitalis attack while Sasha and Jason share a kiss. Drew has another business meeting with a group of people that don't trust him. Laura Collins and Curtis Ashford agree to meet to discuss the McConkey Esplanade concept. She genuinely wants his opinion and is aware that he is a successful businessman. She informs him that Drew Quartermain intends to occupy Piers 55 and 56, which entails reclaiming the area that Corinthos Coffee now occupies. Like Laura, Curtis believes that Drew's purpose for this plan is probably simply going to make things harder for Sonny and Jason. Laura is particularly concerned about Jen Sidwell, whom Drew is involving in this scheme. When Jordan Ashford shows there, he informs her that Jens has approached her with his pitch, and she isn't sure he is genuine. When Drew shows up for the meeting, he realizes it will be difficult. If Sonny refuses to accept Drew's offer of federal assistance, which would cut the project's cost in half, he will allow the Esplanade project in Washington, D.C. to fail. According to Curtis, Drew seems to have a nice plan, but every idea he has a catch. Drew offers that they remove him from the equation. Would they accept a proposal from someone else? That's their response if it is. Tracy mistreats Willow once more. When GH employee Felicia Scorpio informs Willow Corinthos that a patient was quite happy with her, Willow exclaims that it's good to be accepted for once. She bonds with Felicia since they both use their jobs as an escape from their troubles. When Martin Gray visits Willow at GH, he informs her that he still needs information about Michael Corinthos. She thinks that their inability to address underlying issues is the root of their marital issues. She states that she does not wish for Michael to be removed from their children's lives. Divorce is never pleasant, Martin informs her. Willow answers a phone call as they are conversing, informing her that her automobile has been seized. She runs across Max Scorpio while looking for additional information, and he offers to help. Willow surmises that Tracy Quartermain had her vehicle towed from the street after it was relocated out of the estate garage. She claims that the hybrid vehicle, which she had before being married to Michael, had special meaning for her. General Hospital recap. Mac and Anna concur that everyone would gain if Jason killed Cyrus. In order to learn why Jason is being detained for threatening Cyrus Renault, Mac pays Anna Devane a visit. Anna agrees when he informs her that the case is tenuous at best. She asserts that Jason cannot murder Cyrus while she has him in custody. Mac notes that everyone would benefit if Jason killed Cyrus. Even if he left no evidence, according to Anna, that wouldn't be right. Sasha, who is there to see Jason, runs into Mac as he exits the room. Liz talks while Sasha performs. After making her police testimony about what happened at Charlie's pub, Elizabeth Baldwin enters Jason's interrogation room. She informs him that she and Lucky Spencer might have discovered proof that connects Cyrus to all of this. She is prepared to gather all they own and deliver it to Anna right away. After Liz departs, Sasha seems to inform Jason that she believes Willow may be aware that Michael is the biological father of her child. Jason acknowledges that they are most likely after she informs him about the PI who was after her. She now wants Jason to claim the child as his own. Willow is in the corridor, seeing them through the window as she opens the door to leave the interrogation room where Jason is. Sasha turns back to Jason and instructs him to follow her instructions. Willow, Mac, and Anna watch as Sasha and Jason kiss passionately. Liz shares everything she knows about Cyrus with Anna. Liz shares their suspicions with Anna, stating that she believes there is sufficient evidence to support her belief that Cyrus has killed 5 people. She takes Anna through each and every patient she believes Cyrus may be connected to. The night before, she and Lucky discovered a syringe receipt in Cyrus' garbage, with the name Paul Damascus, a biblical allusion on it. Additionally, they discovered a box that she thought contained digitalis. Liz is told by Anna that she is an excellent amateur investigator, and that she will check to see whether she has enough to apprehend Cyrus. Cyrus is getting ready to attack once more. Cyrus is reading aloud from his Bible while lounging on a couch. Then, armed with digitalis bottles and syringes, he takes a seat at his table. He discreetly inserts a syringe into his coat pocket after getting dressed to go out. Elizabeth Baldwin is informed that she has left for the day when he rings GH in search of her. Since he is certain that he will see her later, he responds that's okay. Desiring chances, discouraged mothers, and seductive invitations. Tuesday, February 18th. General Hospital spoilers and updates hint to sultry invitations, disheartened moms, and desperate opportunities. Anna Devane simply wants a chance, Lulu Spencer is a dejected mother, and Harrison Chase sends out a seductive invitation. Hot invitations. While taking a shower at home, Chase jokingly calls out to Brooke Lynn Chase, "There's room for two in here." The issue remains. Is she even there, and can she hear him over the roaring water? It is important to maintain his passion and determination in spite of his challenges as a father. It's evident that Chase is beginning to feel better following the devastating news he had to give to his wife and the weight of their fertility tests. He has undoubtedly been affected by the circumstance, but they haven't yet looked at alternatives like adoption, surrogates, or sperm donors. Unexpected surprises. Interesting things are happening at the Savoy while the drama plays out, and Curtis Ashford is approached by Portia Robinson with a pointed question. "Does your wife get a clue?" she asks as the host. Curtis is preparing for a lavish Valentine's Day celebration at the club. It appears though that he may be hiding something, or maybe Portia is just too intrigued. She will soon learn the truth, and the moment of discovery is drawing near. This is going to be the most stunning event since Marshall Ashford and Wynton Marsalis went on tour. Confessions for Valentine's Day. At the club, where Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor are going on their first real date, the mood is electrifying for the lavish Valentine's Day party. At Kai's request, Trina dresses to impress and is ready to make a sincere confession. Maybe she's willing to acknowledge that her first thoughts of him were incorrect, and now that she knows him better, she's drawn to his actual personality. This will be Trina's first outing since the death of Spencer Cassadine more than a year ago, and they intend to spend the entire day in love. Although she will always cherish the memory of her first love, it appears that she is finally starting to get over her grief. Unexpected inquiries. Brad Cooper and Lucas Jones encounter a moment at the Savoy where Brad is taken aback by Lucas' unexpected inquiry. The two ex-spouses are beginning to get along, and Brad is surprised when Lucas says he might want some company. Even while Brad is aware that it doesn't mean a complete reunion, how could he possibly turn down such an unexpected Valentine's Day invitation? Whatever their relationship may be, this act is a big step forward, because it shows that Lucas doesn't have any resentment toward them and suggests that their past will be resolved. Brad takes advantage of the chance to agree, even if it's just as friends. Mothers discouraged. Lulu and Dante Falconeri had a meaningful talk in the Quartermaine mansion. She confides in a bewildered Dante about her thoughts of inadequacy as a mother, and she is clearly disheartened. Ever the encouraging spouse, Dante is sure to remind her that she is trying her hardest, and the not-so-little Rocco Falconeri would surely agree. As Lulu considers Charlotte Cassadine's decision to remain with her father, Valentine Cassadine, while she was on the run, her heartbreak grows. Although Lulu was unsuccessful in convincing Charlotte to go back to Port Charles, at least she is no longer blaming Dante for showing up at the Prague Cafe where the ambush occurred. Carly enjoys being aware of Brennan's secrets. Jack Brennan and Carly Spencer end themselves in the comfortable space of Carly's kitchen. She jokingly admits that she likes to have a special knowledge of his life, something that no one else has. What may this fascinating fact be? Has their bond grown beyond the boundaries of their hotel spa meeting in Baden-Baden? Jack smiles knowingly, acknowledging her interest in the secrets he has chosen to divulge. There is still a concern though. Can Carly really trust him? Is the Jack she is coming to know the whole person, or just a piece of him? After all, upholding a shroud of secrecy, which frequently entails hiding aspects of one's life, is a necessary component of the espionage profession. Desiring to take chances, Jason Morgan, who is still detained in the interrogation room at the PCPD, and Anna are having a heated discussion. She fervently exhorts him to take a chance, advising him to put his faith in her knowledge. Anna is adamant on reassuring him that she can protect Danny Morgan and prosecute Cyrus Renault legally. Jason carefully considers her request as he takes it in, but the concern still remains. Would she continue to put him in this situation? In the hopes that she will also take a chance on him, he too longs for her trust. Elizabeth provides Anna with evidence against Cyrus, just as he plans to kill again. The rain fell in sheets, drenching the city in a cold, unrelenting downpour. The streets were nearly empty, save for the occasional car splashing through puddles, its headlights cutting through the gloom. Elizabeth tightened her coat around her, her breath visible in the frigid air as she hurried down the dimly lit sidewalk. Her heart pounded in her chest, not just from the physical exertion but from the weight of what she carried in her bag. Evidence that could finally bring Cyrus to justice. Cyrus had been a shadow in their lives for far too long. A man of charm and cunning, he had managed to evade the law for years, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Elizabeth had seen the damage firsthand. She had watched as friends and colleagues fell victim to his schemes, their lives ruined or ended by his hand. But this time it was different. This time she had proof. The evidence had come to her unexpectedly, almost as if fate had intervened. A forgotten USB drive, a series of encrypted files, and a trail of financial transactions that led straight to Cyrus. It was enough to expose him, to finally bring him down. But time was running out. Cyrus was planning to kill again, and Elizabeth knew she had to act fast. She reached Anna's apartment building and pressed the buzzer, her finger trembling slightly. The seconds felt like hours as she waited for a response. Finally, the door clicked open, and Elizabeth pushed her way inside, taking the stairs two at a time. She reached Anna's door and knocked, her knuckles rapping against the wood with urgency. "Anna, it's me," she called, her voice barely above a whisper but laced with desperation. The door opened a crack and Anna's face appeared, her eyes wide with surprise and concern. "Elizabeth? What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night." "I need your help," Elizabeth said, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. She closed the door behind her and turned to face Anna, her expression grave. "I have evidence against Cyrus. He's planning to kill again, and we have to stop him." Anna's breath caught in her throat. She had known Cyrus for years, had even been close to him at one point. But that was before she realized the truth about who he was. A manipulator, a liar, and a killer. She had tried to distance herself from him, but the past had a way of catching up to her. Now, standing in her living room with Elizabeth, she felt the weight of that past pressing down on her. "What kind of evidence?" Anna asked, her voice trembling. Elizabeth reached into her bag and pulled out the USB drive, holding it up for Anna to see. "This has everything. Financial records, emails, even a recording of him admitting to the murders. It's enough to put him away for life. But we have to act fast. He's planning to kill again, and we don't have much time." Anna's mind raced as she processed the information. She knew Cyrus was dangerous, but the thought of him killing again sent a chill down her spine. She had to do something, but what? She wasn't a detective or a lawyer. She was just a woman trying to move on with her life. But Elizabeth was here, asking for her help, and Anna couldn't turn her away. "What do you need me to do?" she asked, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her veins. Elizabeth handed her the USB drive. "I need you to take this to the police. Tell them everything you know about Cyrus. They'll listen to you, you have a history with him. I'll stay here and try to figure out where he's planning to strike next. We have to stop him before it's too late." Anna nodded, her resolve hardening. She took the USB drive and slipped it into her pocket, her mind already working through the steps she would need to take. She would go to the police, she would tell them everything, and she would make sure Cyrus paid for his crimes. But as she turned to leave, Elizabeth grabbed her arm, stopping her in her tracks. "Be careful, Anna. Cyrus is dangerous, and he'll do whatever it takes to protect himself. If he finds out what we're doing, he won't hesitate to come after us." Anna met Elizabeth's gaze, her eyes filled with determination. "I know, but we can't let him win. Not this time." With that, she turned and left the apartment, the sound of the door closing behind her echoing in the silence. Elizabeth watched her go, a sense of unease settling in her chest. She knew they were taking a risk, but it was a risk they had to take. Cyrus had to be stopped no matter the cost. Cyrus's plan. Across town, Cyrus sat in the dimly lit study of his sprawling estate, a glass of whiskey in his hand. The room was filled with the scent of leather and old books, a testament to his wealth and taste. But beneath the surface of sophistication lay a darkness that few could comprehend. Cyrus was a man who thrived on control, on power, and on the fear he instilled in others. He had always been careful, meticulous in his planning. Every move he made was calculated. Every decision weighed for its potential consequences. But lately he had grown restless. The thrill of his past crimes had faded, replaced by a hunger for something more. He needed to feel that rush again, the adrenaline that came with taking a life. And so he had chosen his next victim. A young woman named Claire, who had crossed him in a business deal. She had thought she could outsmart him, but Cyrus had other plans. He would make an example of her, a reminder to anyone who dared to defy him. As he sipped his whiskey, Cyrus's mind wandered to the past, to the lives he had taken and the secrets he had buried. He had always been one step ahead of the law, his charm and influence shielding him from suspicion. But deep down he knew that his luck couldn't last forever. There were those who were determined to bring him down, and he would have to be ready for them. The race against time. Back at Anna's apartment, Elizabeth sat at the kitchen table, her laptop open in front of her. She had spent the last hour poring over the files on the USB drive, searching for any clue that might lead her to Cyrus's next target. The evidence was damning, but it was also overwhelming. There were hundreds of documents, each one a piece of the puzzle that was Cyrus's life. As she scrolled through the files, one name caught her eye: Claire. She didn't know who Claire was, but the name appeared repeatedly in Cyrus's emails, always in connection with a business deal that had gone sour. Elizabeth's heart sank as she realized what this meant. Cyrus was planning to kill Claire, and she had no idea where or when. She picked up her phone and dialed Anna's number, her fingers trembling as she pressed the buttons. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times before Anna finally answered. "Elizabeth? What's wrong?" Anna's voice was filled with concern. "I think I know who Cyrus is targeting," Elizabeth said, her words tumbling out in a rush. "Her name is Claire. I don't know where she is, but we have to find her before it's too late." There was a pause on the other end of the line, and Elizabeth could hear the sound of Anna's breathing, quick and shallow. "I'll call the police," Anna said finally. "They'll know what to do." "No," Elizabeth said, her voice firm. "We can't wait for the police. By the time they get involved, it might be too late. We have to find Claire ourselves." Anna hesitated, but she knew Elizabeth was right. They couldn't afford to wait. "Okay," she said. "I'll meet you at your place in 10 minutes. The confrontation. The rain had slowed to a drizzle by the time Elizabeth and Anna arrived at Claire's apartment building. The streets were quiet, the only sound the occasional drip of water from the eaves. They had managed to track down Claire's address through a combination of online searches and sheer determination. But now that they were here, the reality of the situation was beginning to sink in. "What if we're too late?" Anna whispered as they approached the building. Elizabeth shook her head, her jaw set in determination. "We're not too late. We can't be." They entered the building and made their way to Claire's apartment, their footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. When they reached the door, Elizabeth knocked, her heart pounding in her chest. There was no answer. "Claire," Elizabeth called, her voice trembling. "Are you in there?" Still there was no response. Elizabeth exchanged a worried glance with Anna before trying the door handle. To her surprise, it was unlocked. The door creaked open, revealing a dark and silent apartment. Elizabeth stepped inside, her eyes scanning the room for any sign of Claire. The furniture was overturned, the walls scarred with deep gouges, and the air was thick with the scent of blood. "Oh my God," Anna whispered, her hand flying to her mouth. Elizabeth's heart sank as she realized the truth. They were too late. Cyrus had already been here. The aftermath. The police arrived shortly after, their sirens cutting through the night as they swarmed the apartment. Elizabeth and Anna were questioned, their story pieced together from fragments of truth and fear. The evidence against Cyrus was overwhelming, but he was nowhere to be found. In the days that followed, the city was gripped by a sense of unease. Cyrus's name was splashed across the headlines, his face staring out from every newsstand. But despite the manhunt, he remained elusive, a ghost in the shadows. For Elizabeth and Anna, the ordeal was far from over. They had risked everything to bring Cyrus to justice, but the cost had been high. Claire's death weighed heavily on their conscience, a reminder of the lives that had been lost, and the ones that could still be saved. As they stood together outside the police station, the rain falling softly around them, Elizabeth turned to Anna and said, "We did everything we could." Anna nodded, her eyes filled with tears. "I know, but it doesn't feel like enough." Elizabeth reached out and took Anna's hand, squeezing it tightly. "We'll find him," she said, her voice filled with determination. "And when we do, we'll make sure he pays for what he's done."